And for more on this topic, we're joined now live from San Francisco by Rui Ma. She's an advisor and co-host of TechBuzz China, podcast by Pandaily. Thanks so much for coming in.
Thank you for having me.
So I'm not sure if you've gotten to take a closer look at this interface and see, but what do we know about how Bullet compares to Wechat?
Yeah, so I actually downloaded Bullet very early on and used it. I've been using it to converse with a few friends. Most of my friends are still on Wechat, not on Bullet. One of their main, I guess, sort of innovations, where I would call micro innovation, is that you can respond without tapping into the message itself. So you can respond from the home screen. Also, I think I heard earlier, as the introduction of the product, they have a very, very fast transcription service. So from voice note to text.
And, you know, the reporter that came before you mentioned that they don't have many languages transcribed. Do we know if they are working with languages, at least on the Chinese mainland, outside of the main Mandarin, like dialects, for example?
Yeah, technically, I saw online that people claimed that it was supposed to also work with other dialects. The technology here, by the way, is from a publicly listed company in Shenzhen called iFlyTech, and it's not from Bullet itself. So that technology, other people can also purchase and license and use as well. But I tried asking my friends who speak regional dialects to use it, and the messenger did not do a good job detecting it. So I don't know what's going on there.
Done your own research on that score. You mentioned earlier, speaking of your friends, that you don't have a lot of friends who are on it yet. And what strikes me about trying to get people to use a different messaging product is just that issue, right? Some of the people in our newsroom and I were talking about how do you find a reason to get on Bullet if you don't have any friends on it? Is there any incentives that the company is offering?
Not right now. So, the reporter earlier also did mention that, Luo Yonghao, the sort of smartisan investor and, one of the main players publicizing Bullet Messenger, has said he wants to put 150 million USD into acquiring users. So I don't know what that will take. So far, nothing spectacular has launched. They did just apparently integrate Alipay, so you can give red packets, of money on Bullet Messenger. Yeah. But in terms of other, novel applications, nothing really. I mean, you can discover other smartisan users, because originally it was meant to be a smartisan messenger, but smartisan only has like 0.6% market share in China, so that's not super useful.
Okay. Do you have an opinion on whether there's really even enough room for another messaging app? What's your take?
Yeah, so many people have tried to topple WeChat because WeChat is so dominant, and people think that there's opportunity, at least in terms of enterprise. So you see Alibaba has created DingTalk, and then WeChat itself has created WeChat Enterprise. However, both these apps, I think, relatively speaking, compared to the Silicon Valley equivalent, Slack, have not gotten as much traction or popularity. So that's why actually when Bullet Messenger came out, they said, the founder, Hao Xijie, actually said that he was targeting Slack and not WeChat. It was the media that said Bullet was trying to compete with WeChat, and then that slogan has stayed. But really, if you go back to his original words, he's trying to create Slack.
What do we know about Tencent and how it's reacting at this point?
I don't think Tencent's has reacted very much. There's a couple of reasons why Tencent hasn't, for example, done the voice note to text, service in WeChat. Part of that's privacy reasons. Voice notes are very intimate. Tencent WeChat has made it purposely difficult to forward, to copy. Basically, you can't. So I think it's very different behind the thinking of the creators of Bullet Messenger. In addition, actually, I just checked some of the latest app chart downloads for Bullet, and as of the 23rd, a few days ago, it's really come down. One app store showed that the downloads daily for Bullet has dropped from over 600,000 at one point at first launch to now about 7,000 per day.
All right, well, we'll have to leave it there. Rui Ma from San Francisco and co-host of TechBuzz China podcast. Thanks so much for coming in. We appreciate your perspective.